All right, so we got this guy kind of, doing his thing. That's fine. What I want to do now is basically show you how to like add hair, or if you want to add other elements. Okay, so I'm going to do the hair first. It's sort of like what we've already done. So I'm going to go over here and we're just going to mask out what I want his hair to look like. Okay, so I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, and I'm just going to hold Control, and we're going to kind of paint. So this is another one of those things where I'm going to start off doing it symmetrical. But the hair again, like the clothing, you're going to want to not do that. So I'm just going to put, mind you too, you want it to be where the hair is coming out of, um, not otherwise. Okay. Not like where it like is, not the end point of it, but like basically the scalp. So right now he looks like Spock. It's pretty terrible. Okay, but it is what it is. All right. So normally what you could do is you could actually do hair, but we're not going to do that here just because so you could do this fiber mesh thing. The problem with fiber mesh is that it creates geometry and stuff, but it's not good for like video games or really for what we're going to be doing because we're going to be doing simpler stuff. Instead, we're just going to make it a shape. Okay. There's another way of using planes, but that's very time consuming. So we're just going to make a shape out of this. And you can actually do it by doing it as a subtool. So right now, if you look, you'll see we have one subtool. And what that means is that every model is a tool, but you can have subtools in that model. So basically that model can be made of other models. So what we're going to do is inside of, at the very top, you open up Subtool, and you'll see something that says Extract. You can open up that, and then you'll see Extract, and it has a smoothness and a thickness, okay? So if you hit Extract, it's going to show you, oh, this is what it looks like. But watch, as soon as I rotate, it goes away. It doesn't actually create it. It lets you it does like a preview of it, and then you can accept it, okay? So I'm looking at this, and it's definitely too thick, so I'm going to take the thickness, and let's do like 0.05, we'll say. And then I'll hit Extract. Apparently, I swear it was 2, wasn't it? Oh, maybe it was. That's really big. Okay, I must have been 0.005. Must have been doing it more than I thought. Extract. There we go. Okay, so that looks okay. There's also a smooth value, and basically that's going to smooth the edge. So I'm going to up it because I don't really care that much. We'll do that, and then Extract, and it'll just keep it smoother. Now, in order to execute it, you hit Accept. And what it's going to do is that if we go up here, you'll see that now you have this model and you have this model. You have two models. You'll notice the other one gets dark. Okay, so I'm going to click on this one. Put this visibility back on. I'm going to click on this one here. You can see it still has a mask. I'm going to Control, click, and drag to get rid of the mask. And from here, I can start sculpting on it. I'm going to turn off the visibility of the first one. And what I want to show you is this. If I start sculpting on this, shrink. Let's do this. If I go like this, you're going to see it actually pulls from below, which is really annoying. And that happens on everything. It might have been happening when you're sculpting the other parts as well. Basically, you got to imagine the brush is a sphere, and that sphere, like, see how wide it is? That's definitely enough to penetrate the inside. So I just want to turn that off. So we can actually go to brush, and you'll see auto masking. Where are you? Auto masking. And then you'll see there's a bunch of different options. And what I want you to do is turn on back face mask. What that means is that it won't sculpt on the opposite end. So when I go like this, it will leave that. Okay, so just be aware. Now from here, what I would do is basically start sculpting away. Yeah, so you could probably make this look how you want. I'm going to actually do this as well. So we haven't been doing this before, but we're going to go to Geometry. And then we're going to do Dynamesh. I'm going to hit to Dynamesh. Now, you might need to change the resolution of it, right? So you might make this higher or lower. So when you hit Dynamesh, it's actually going to basically uniformly make it one, like all these squares, okay? It's kind of like what we did before, but now what happens is as I sculpt, so let's say I don't know what I want to do. I'm not going to do anything too crazy here, but I'm going to do something like this, and then we'll MV, sorry, it's BMV. Let's just say I pull this down a little or something, right? So I don't know, something like that. So you see how it's, oops, didn't mean to do that. See how it's like stretched out? Unless it's got cat ears or something. Anyway, see how it's stretched out? what you do now, when this mode is on, okay, and when I hold okay, okay, when okay, okay, when I hold Control, click, and drag, like I'm releasing a mask, it'll recalculate that. I don't know if you could see it. Let me hit Shift F. Oh, why is this dark? There we go. Let me undo it. So when I hold Control, click, and drag, it like puts the same size squares. So basically, as you're sculpting, as you're doing things, you just every now and then want to hold Control, click, and drag, and it will create that topology. All right. So you can create any kind of hair that you want. We're just going to use this Dynamesh, and that should be fine. Now, I was going to look at the other things that I have, so I'm going to leave that alone for now. We're going to go back to Subtool, and I'm going to turn this guy back on. And we're going to select him as well. Come on, there we go. And I'm going to hit Shift F to get that off. So he's got great looking hair. So let's say for some reason you wanted a character and they're supposed to have like a strap or something. You can use the same tool. So I could literally just go like this. Let's say he's supposed to have a thing. I could go down to that extract, hit, maybe make this a little bit bigger. So we'll do 0.01. I could hit extract. It's going to make this little belt. I hit accept. And now, Control, click, and drag. You can see now he's got this thing there, right? And it's on its own layer right here. I got the hair and I got this. Oh, apparently, let's undo that real quick. Let's undo it again. Apparently I can't undo it. I forgot to clear out the mask. There was still a mask on the guy, so this actually has the hair here, which I did not want. So, I don't know if you could tell. Let me turn this guy off because that was still masked. This guy still had the mask on him from when I did the hair. So this is actually a good teaching moment. So let's say for some reason, I'm going to turn him off. Let's say for some reason, I don't want this to be part of my model guy, right? What I can do is Control, click, and drag. And then we can go down to split. And I can split mask parts. And now you'll see that that hair is on a separate piece. Okay, I don't know if you can tell. This is the one we sculpt. This is let me turn this one off. It's on its own piece now. It's separated it from because we can actually separate them. Now, let's say I don't want this actually, right? Because I already sculpted the other one. Select that, just hit delete, and then it'll say okay, and it'll actually get rid of that piece. So you can delete them. You can also duplicate ones if you need to. All right. So that's how you kind of handle all those. All of the options for subtools are right here. So if you did want to have like a buckle situation, I'm gonna turn him back on. Make sure this is also on. You can do those various things, and then from there, obviously, you can sculpt it and model it and stuff. Okay. Now, as it stands, actually, so and you can do other things that way as well. Oh, let's also add some eyeballs because that might be helpful. So to add some eyeballs, that's kind of the last thing I feel like we need. I'm not going to worry about the teeth or anything like that. So to add some eyeballs, what we're going to do is you're going to go again underneath subtools and you'll see an option to append. Click on append. Oops. And you want to choose sphere 3D. And what that's going to do is it's going to create a sphere, and you can see he's got a big old belly now. So I'm going to select the sphere here, and we want to basically match it to one of his eyes. Okay, so what we need to use is the move tool here. So W, E, and R. Okay, so W, and you can see it gives me this little thing here, the manipulator. I'm going to pull it up and I'll push it over, and then so the this will kind of let you move it freeform. These are scale, the squares, the arrows are move, and these circles here, these are rotate. We don't need to rotate it obviously, but we do want to scale it, and I want to scale it uniformly, so I grab the center one, so scale down. All right, and then I'm gonna hold shift and I'll pull it forward. And we're going to go here, hold shift, I want to move it to the side, and then move it up. Try to use these. Don't try to grab it in the center, because otherwise you're going to be moving it in axes and stuff that you don't mean to. And then we're going to push it in, maybe up a little bit, like that. Now, in this way a little too. Oh, that actually worked pretty okay. More than likely, once you put that eyeball in, you're going to notice that the eyelid doesn't work. So what you're going to have to do, this is actually remarkable that I actually got that. It's just sculpt from this point. So I'll do B, S, T, or just actually hit Q to get back to sculpting. you're going to want to sculpt the eyelid to match your eyeball. Okay, so you have to take the eyeball, sculpt the eyelid to match it. Now, once I have the eyeball there, I'm going to go back to my eyeball. I need to flip it for the other side. So the easiest way to do this, you could create a second one, but the chances of lining them up are pretty slim to none. So what we're going to do instead is I am going to use what I'll plugin. So you go to Z plugins, and then you'll see, where are you? Where is it? Subtool Master. And you'll see there's a bunch of options for subtools. What you want to do is mirror. We're going to go to mirror, and we want to mirror one subtool. And you can append as a new subtool, which basically means when I make the other eyeball, it'll make it on a separate, like there'll be two spheres over here. I actually I'm just going to merge them together. And then the axis, right here. So you can see how Z is X. So we want the X axis, so the default's all fine. So we'll hit OK. And it's basically going to make them as one subtool, and I have two eyes there. And then you can use that to basically sculpt. But I would make sure that you got that eyeball positioned, and I would even sculpt it with just one eyeball first, and then flip it once you know that it's good. Okay? And he looks like it looks like I did a clone alias I can't even say it, but you know what I mean. This is a stupid thing. Anyway, we're going to call that good. And the next one, what we're going to do is basically just kind of clean this up. And give it correct geometry. Because if you look right now, well, that one's fine. But if we look at the actual dude here, go here, you can see he doesn't have good geometry. It's really dense, and it's all triangles and things like that. So we're basically going to fix that in the next one. All right. So that is good so far.